Alright, so hello and welcome back to the beautiful Lake District. This is going to be the hardest challenge of my life. So I've set myself the challenge of climbing the height of Mount Everest, 8,849 metres, but in the Lake District in just 72 hours. So come along and join. I think this is going to be absolute torture, but hopefully a bit of fun as well. And if the views like this keep up, it's going to be great. So make sure you stick along, come along for the trip. Let's go. And so the adventure begins, and little do I know of the challenge which awaits. Luckily, for the first 36 hours of this challenge, I'm going to be joined by my lovely friend Abby. But after that, I'm going to have to face this task alone. We can see our first destination peeking behind the trees. But before we start our steep climb, we're met by some lovely little fluff balls. Or as I like to call them, sheepies. Tell you what, it's like sheep paradise here. How many Seans can you have in one place? So cute. Unfortunately, this isn't a sheep counting challenge, and there's a long and testing road which lies ahead. To give this challenge some context, the fell we are now climbing, Blencathra, is 868 metres altitude, but we started from around 160 in the village of Threlkeld. That's only 700 metres climb, meaning I'd have to do this hike 12.5 times to climb the altitude of Everest. And not to mention, over the next few days, midday temperatures are going to reach around 25 and 26 degrees. Alright, so first peak on the list is just up there, Blencathra, about 860 metres, and with a little bit of extra walking to get my camera, hopefully I'll reach about 1,000, so let's crack on. And so we carry on, up the steep ascent, to where the views were just absolutely out of this world. But, more to the point, you might be asking yourself why? Why the height of Everest? Well, I suppose as the world's tallest peak, there is no greater challenge. And the struggle I will face on this adventure is symbolic of the hardship we will all face throughout our lives. And so challenge is something we must all endure. So why not confront it bravely so that we're capable of rising up to the challenge we're destined to contend with. Alright, so we're just approaching the top of the first peak, Blencathra. Weather's absolutely stunning, as I've already said. The views are absolutely incredible. About 5 metres away. Oh, legs are a little bit tired, but the ridge isn't too hard. It's just a bit of a scramble, but not too difficult on the legs. And here we are. We've done it. First one. I think the top's just here. There we go. Number one done. High five. Well done. So that's probably about 900 done. Oh, and the views don't get any better than this. But anyway, next on the list is Skiddaw over there. But the plan is we're going to go back down to the Tarn, maybe have a little dip or cool down, and then we're going to climb back up, so that's maybe an extra 200 metres or so. Check in at the hostel, and then Skiddaw's next on the list for this evening. Wish me luck. Anyway, down to the Tarn. And there's a very steep path which takes us down to Scales Tarn, which is an incredibly beautiful spot just down from the peak of Blencathra. And what makes this spot even more special is the notorious ridgeline, Sharp Edge, which overlooks the Tarn and begs to be challenged. But for now, some cold water is needed since it's around 25 degrees. And the temperatures during the 72 hours is starting to worry me. The challenge alone is going to be relentless, never mind without the heat as well. The clear crystal blue water of the Tarn is much appreciated to cool down and refresh. And in typical fashion, spontaneous change of plan, which gives another dimension of challenge. Right, so there's been a change of plan. You'll never guess what she's having me do. What are we doing?
Sharp Edge.
We're doing Sharp Edge up there, and I bloody hate heights. But she's wrote me in, so we're going to do it. But there we go, sharp edge. This definitely adds to the challenge, so let's go sharp edge. And there we go, sharp edge ticked off the list. Wasn't intended to do it. But yeah, time's getting on now and we've not got too long. We need to get back to Keswick and then we're on to do Skiddaw. My legs are already starting to feel it, so this is going to be a bloody tough challenge. I've only got about 8,000 metres to go. So the first challenge of many over the next 72 hours is completed. Our legs were pretty tired already, and now we have to climb Blencathra's neighbour, Skiddaw, the mountain I probably hate the most, for reasons you'll see soon. And I'm probably not doing future me any favours running around like an idiot. So there we go, we're 4 hours in, 958 metres down, only 7,891 metres to go, which means there's no time for rest. Moments after we descend down from Blencathra, I'm face to face again with another mountain which I share many memories. It offers a continuous grueling steep and mundane climb in return for spectacular views. But unfortunately, the pain and effort must come first, and that certainly proves to be the case. Alright, so the second climb begins up to Skiddaw, the fourth highest peak in the Lake District at 931 metres. This bit is brutal. Straight up, power up about 45 minutes, and a little bit of flat, and then back up. Another battle begins, and we're met by another steep ascent, but our spirits are starting high. Although the time's getting on, so I decide that I should push ahead, which means getting earphones in. At this point, I'm really having to dig deep. Despite quick 30-second rests, I'm having to maintain a ruthless pace. And the first 6 hours of this challenge has proven far more testing than I could have ever anticipated. My muscles feel empty and I'm starting to cramp in my left leg. Although, if I want any chance of conquering this challenge, I'm going to have to just keep pushing. The tunes are pushing me through this bit. Really underestimated this. Legs are knackered. I feel exhausted, hungry, thirsty. It's still hot. But now it's a gentle incline and then one last steep climb up to the top. So, what have I signed myself up for here? I pass some more of my fluffy friends and the top is in sight, but I'm really starting to struggle with cramp. Abby actually catches me up. And as promised, the pain and effort is rewarded with some incredible views over Derwent Water, as golden hour begins with the sun starting to set over the Irish Sea. It's actually not often you get perfect conditions to see views like this in the Lake District. And if you've never climbed a mountain before, trust me, there's nothing else in this world quite like it. There we go, the sun's just starting to set behind me. Peak number 2 done. I don't know how I've managed that. We done it. High five. That's got to be about 2,000 metres altitude done. Now back down, get some food, time for bed. We'll start again tomorrow and shower. See you in a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't have a parachute with me, so climbing up means you've also got to climb back down. So, that wraps up day 1. After plenty of food and a decent night's sleep, I'm hoping that we can carry on strong tomorrow in the 25 degrees heat. Alright, so hello, it's day 2, it's about 7:30 in the morning. We're going to set off for Buttermate in just a minute, but We underperformed a little bit yesterday. We've done about 1,850 metres, which means we've only got about 7,000 metres left. So let's go. Let's head to Buttermere. Let's get cracking. So, before we start the day's adventure, let's just quickly go through today's itinerary. Our hike will begin at the small, idyllic village of Buttermere. We'll then leave the village behind as we progress through a beautiful coniferous woodland and up to our first peak of the day, Red Pike. And I honestly cannot wait to show you the views from up there. From there, we'll walk along to High Stile and then to Alfred Wainwright's favourite Wainwright, Haystacks. Then it's down and back up to Fleetwith Pike, and then we'll get the bus from the incredible Honister Pass and try to drag ourselves up another fell called High Spy. And at the end of the day, there's a slight catch. We're going to be praying on the goodness of a stranger to take us back to Keswick as the buses are all off. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. So day 2 is underway. First on the list is Red Pike up there somewhere, and then along to High Stile. Hopefully that should get us about 700 metres, but we need a lot more than that today. So let's go. Come on. High spirits as of now. And here we go. So we kick off day 2 walking over a lovely little footbridge at the top end of Buttermere. It has a beautiful crystal clear stream running through it. And at the other end of the footbridge, we're met by an ancient looking forest which you can see creeping up the hillside. There's a lovely laid out stone staircase which guides us on our way to Red Pike. Alright, so we're just heading up some steps. Legs are tired already. This is going to be so tough. So we've only done, 25% of the challenge already? About 6,700 metres left. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Right, so we've just got out the trees. The sun's ruining the view a little bit. A bit overexposed. Welcome to Buttermere. Just does not get any better than this, does it, Abby? Any better than this. Expert, there you go. She knows her stuff. Doesn't get better than this. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, the only way is up. We carry on up the winding and zigzagging path. As we progress upwards, we're surrounded by the blooming summer-loving heather. And then we join a beautiful flowing stream, which means we're almost at a well-needed pit stop, the beautiful Bleabury Tarn. Alright, so the top of Red Pike is just there, we're almost there. I've got some incredible views coming. Here we go. Bang, here we go. Red Pike done. Another one off the list. About 22 hours into the 72-hour challenge. Views just don't get better than this, do they? You see all the way over to Scotland. You can see the Isle of Man over there, and obviously the rest of the Lake District here. It doesn't get better than this. I wouldn't say current altitude here. Probably got about 6,200 metres to go, so maybe about a third of the way down, so on track. But anyway, next stop over that way. It really felt like I was in some sort of film. The views from these fells have got to be right up there with the best in the UK. And this is why I do it. And if you don't, I hope that you'll consider joining me. Maybe not on a mission of pain and suffering, but at least to see what it feels like to have the earth at your feet, swallowed up in otherworldly terrain, with all the stress and suffocation of modern life swept away with the wind. And it does make it even more special when you can share it with a friend, but alone is okay too, as I will be soon. As you'll see, tomorrow I'm really going to be pushed to my limits, mentally and physically. But for now, me and Abby are arriving at Alfred Wainwright's favourite fell, Haystacks. And here we go, another one off the list. I'm guessing this is the top. It looks like the highest point to me. I'm counting it. We've done another one, Abby. Woo! Another one off the list. I'll insert the altitude I've done now and the time left. But we should be looking alright for time, hopefully. We get a couple more in. But as you can tell, it's probably about 22, 23 degrees, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Roasting.
Warm.
But there's a lovely little tarn down there. Beautiful little spot. But yeah. Apparently this was Alfred Wainwright's favourite Wainwright.
Favourite fall.
Stunning. Don't know if I'd say it's my favourite though, but I haven't done them all, you see. So, but anyway, we keep going. Let's continue. I think that maybe I've changed my mind. It really is a wonderful spot, decorated with many protruding crags and dotted with many tarns. The drops down into the valley really gave a dramatic feel to this landscape. But for a moment, let me just give some background context on why I chose to do this in 72 hours. Alright, so as promised, next stop Fleetwith Pike up there, which is quite a way away. Again, drop back down and back up. But let me tell you something. So I've had this idea to climb the height of Everest, just up there, for a couple of months now. And originally my idea was to do it in a week, so 7 days. And then I reevaluated and I thought, that's too easy. And then I thought, what about 5 days? And I thought, even still, when you break it down over each day, I know I can definitely do it. So I shortened it down to 72 hours and I thought, I don't know if I can do that, which was pretty scary, but I thought, that's the whole point. So that's why I decided to do it in the 72 hours instead. But also, for any of you crazy people out there, I might try and start this off as a challenge. So if you want to try and do the Everest 72-hour challenge in the Lake District, let me know. Maybe give it a crack yourself and see if you can do it. I have to say, it's been pretty cheery and smiley so far, despite a little bit of whinging, but from now on, I'm going to look more like this. And it seems I'm not the only one desperate for a drink. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We reach our final peak of the walk, Fleetwith Pike, after being out for 7 hours in the rare British sunshine. You can even see where we started today's adventure, in between the two bodies of water. It really is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Talking of beautiful places, we're now headed here, to Honister Pass. From here, we'll get the bus to start our second hike of the day to get some more altitude in. And how am I going to manage when I look like this 20 minutes before? Alright, wave goodbye to the bus. We're on to our next challenge, Maidenmoor. So hopefully we'll get another 550 metres or so climb, and then we're going to reevaluate from there and check see how much we've done, add it all up. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out how much altitude we'd done today, as I had no signal to check Strava. So like for most of this challenge, we have to just keep pushing and hope that it's enough. But we could well be in for a shock, like the first night when we climbed less altitude than we thought. I really was praying, hoping that we'd done enough. Come on. At this point I was near exhaustion, but managed to get another Wainwright high spy. I jogged back along and rejoined with Abby, where we could finally see some familiar territory, which meant we were almost back. Just one last desperate jog along to a fell I'm most familiar with, in a final attempt to finish off strong. I felt as though I'd put so much effort in today, I'd had enough. But it was good to be back somewhere familiar, and have some solitude at one of my favourite spots, especially on such a beautiful evening. And here we go, Catbells, another one off the list. I think I'm done for the day. Absolutely finished, but the views never disappoint from here. Absolutely gorgeous. But we need to get back over there to Keswick. But yeah, so I think it's going to be a big decider. Depending on how much altitude I've done today, I don't know yet, as I said. So it's going to be a case of getting back, checking how much I've done, and if I've not done enough, then I think this whole challenge could be down the drain. So, and there we go. I'm relieved to say that's today's walking done, although I'd be lying to say that I wasn't scared for tomorrow. But anyway, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Daniel, a kind stranger who went out of his way to take us back to Keswick. Thank you. And thankfully to end day 2, I've never enjoyed food so much in my life. But unfortunately, before we end day 2, things aren't looking too positive. Alright, so it's not looking good. It is not looking good. Just got back from food. It's about 10:30. Yeah, so today has not gone well. We've done a lot. I've done so much walking, covered so much ground, and I only climbed 2,200 metres, which takes me up to about 4,000, which is quite a bit less than half. I'm about halfway through the 72 hours, so I've got about 36 hours left from now. But obviously I need to sleep, So how the hell am I going to do another 4,800 metres in however much time? It seems impossible. I don't think I can do it. So I'm not good at the minute. So I've decided what I'm going to do. I really don't want to. I'm going to try and get 3 hours sleep, wake up at 2, go up and climb Skiddaw again. I don't want to do the same one again, but I don't have a choice. So I'm going to get sorted for bed. I'm going to have to get up at 2 to climb Skiddaw, come back, sleep for a few hours, and then I'm going to have to do something. I don't know what. I don't think it's possible. I don't think I can do it. But I think I'm going to see what I can do. From now on, I'll be facing the rest of this journey on my own. It's time to set off into the complete darkness, and that outline there in the centre of the screen is our next destination. It definitely can be quite scary, all alone in the complete darkness of the night. Not knowing what's out there, it's definitely unnerving. But I guess that quite nicely sums up what this challenge was all about. Come on, watch out. I need to get past. Come on, watch out. Come on, that one's doing its business. Look at all those eyes. I've got company at least. Alright, so I've just absolutely powered up the first 5-10 minutes of this hill. I can't walk when I've got my torch on, so I can't see. But I'll tell you what, good thing is I've never seen the sky for so many stars. Like, it's just absolutely full. I feel like you can even see a bit of a haze over Milky Way. It's crystal clear skies, moon's nowhere to be found. Don't know where it's disappeared to, but yeah. Just had a little water break and now no time for rest. Straight back up. Although it's quite a scary experience, I can't say that it's not rewarding. There's just something magical about being up there in the middle of the night, all on your own, watching the world sleep beneath you. You can see a silhouette of all the other peaks in the Lake District in the distance, and every inch of the dark sky was covered in stars. I wish you were there to see it. It really was special. I've made pretty impressive time. So in 2 hours I've came from the back of Keswick at the YHA all the way up after everything I've done yesterday. So I'm quite pleased with the timing. I aim for 2 hours, and I've also done an extra little bit back up. So I'm hoping that'll take me to 5,000 metres, and then I'm in a more promising position where it actually looks possible. Do you know what I mean? Because last night I was deflated. I thought that's it, I've had enough. So get back down to the hostel. So hopefully I see a little bit of the sunrise. You can just possibly see the colour poking through there. But yeah, time to get back down. Confronted with another daunting task, which I can see outside the hostel window, I'm faced with a desperate attempt to get altitude. And I don't have any time to waste on travelling or flat ground. After only a few hours sleep, I resort to doing shuttle runs up a steep staircase on the side of Catbells. And for efficiency, I leave all my things in a bush, and probably for the best, since the sweat and sun cream was literally dripping down me, thanks to the 26 degrees heat. And in total, I managed 8 shuttles up and down, and this is what it did to me. Right, I've been doing this up and down business for more than 4 hours now, and I've just absolutely had enough. I've got no go in me whatsoever. I'm still going. I don't know how, but my tempo is probably halved. And it's going to be a mystery again this time which altitude I've done. After this, I was absolutely exhausted, and I'd passed the 24 hours remaining mark, meaning it's now all come down to the last stretch. Through the night, I gained 940 metres, climbing Skiddaw, and a further 1,563 metres at Catbells during the day, which totals up to 2,503 metres for the day, leaving me at a total of 6,520 metres altitude climbed, with a terrifying 2,320 metres remaining. I had come so far in the previous 48 hours, yet I still felt so far away from my destination. But what a journey it had been. So many incredible landscapes, climbing up and over ridges, endless breathtaking views, winding paths and sheer drops, beautiful tarns alongside gaping valleys, sunrises, sunsets, moments of regret, moments of inspiration, lots of friendly faces and a sky full of stars, all alone in the middle of the night. I felt as though I had come so far, but I felt physically and emotionally battered, and that comes with some unfortunate news. My new objective was to reach 8,000 metres, and I did start this morning officially at 6,520 metres, but I gave myself a small 300 metre allowance for all the extra altitude I climbed while recording shots. And again, it was ridiculously hot, the hottest day yet, but I felt as though I had a fire burning inside me, perhaps because I knew it was almost over, but also because the pressure had been taken off, knowing I couldn't reach the heights I had set for myself. But I still had a hunger to get as close as possible. I don't even know how I'm getting my legs to move this quick, but I've overtaken 4 groups of people so far, so I just need to keep that up, and I'll be alright. I was so close to the finish line now, only 90 minutes left, so I have to just give it one last final push. Come on, keep going. Not long left. Nearly the end, come on. Alright, and there we go. The 72 hours is done. I can't believe it. This has been the hardest 72 hours of my life, probably, in terms of effort, in terms of determination, in terms of physical fatigue, mental obliteration. I'm finally done. So I'm a bit relieved. I know I've not done the full 8,849. I'm going to check my Strava now. Hopefully that's loaded up. And then I'll know how much of the total I've done. But yeah, I'm happy to be done. And if I get anywhere even close, I think I'll consider that a victory. And to think I started over there, Blencathra, 70 hours ago or something. And the amount of ground I've covered has just been insane. So, and thank you for sticking by me and watching as well. Really appreciate it. Alright, so for the moment of truth, I've just calculated on my Strava, this hike I done was 1,233 metres, which is 33 metres more than what I'd hoped for, which means I've passed the 8,000 mark and I got 8,053 metres in the final total. So for 72 hours I've climbed 8,053 metres altitude, which is just absolutely insane. So I didn't pass the challenge by, 9%, 10%, but in my eyes that's a success. Absolutely can't believe it. That's just insane. And I think halfway through the challenge it actually hit me, how much altitude it is, and how big of a challenge and how big of a task it was. So the fact that I've even come close is just absolutely insane. So, can't believe it. Alright, so there we go, all done. It feels good to have been home for a little while, had a little rest from the mountains. But before I finish, I just want to say a huge thank you to Abby, who was absolutely fantastic company, and also to my other friends who gave me support. But anyway, I really hope you did enjoy this video and seeing the beautiful Lake District, and maybe it'll even give you a little bit of a kick to go out and challenge yourself too. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I've just got something to tell you. This video took me 4 weeks to edit, so if you'll just subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed it, I really appreciate that. Goodbye. Adios. Bye.